Hey everyone, thanks for coming for my Tom Talk. Today we're going to be discussing Magic the Gathering with the most recent regional championship champion, Vinnie Fino. Vinny, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great, man. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. And for everybody who's tuning in and wants to know how Vinny's deck actually works, I put the Metafy link as the first thing down in the YouTube video description here. If you're coming from social media, it's going to be attached in the link below. So if you want to just click on that and figure out what's going on with the deck and everything, and maybe you don't care about me talking too much, you could just click on that, or you could click on it and follow along as we go through just Vinny's thought process. So, man, we know you as the RC winner, but Vinny, everybody just kind of wants to know, who are you and how did you actually get into playing Magic before becoming an RC champion?
Yeah, my name's Vinnie Fino. I started to play around 2015. My older cousin Robert showed me the game as like a, super duper casual. We had some like mono black decks that we played, and
Hell
man,
yeah.
I just absolutely fell in love with the deck building aspect, you know, the art, the storytelling, the just freaking all of it.
Yeah, so I'm loving the fact that you were a mono black guy to start off. I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
A man after my own heart in more than one way. This is great. But outside of just getting into Magic, like what else does defines Vinny? What else do you like to do, man?
Oh, I write a whole lot of like Midwest emo music. It's I never put it anywhere, but I have a folder on my phone and on my computer of probably like maybe like 100 songs,
Oh
and
man.
I play a whole lot of TFT. Probably too
Oh,
much TFT.
okay. I do know you play a hell of a lot of TFT. Dude, when are we getting the Midwest emo intro where it's just you giggling?
Oh, dude, it's somewhere.
See, there you go. They're right there. Just clip that and put it into the intro, and then all of a sudden the breakdown just starts. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So heading back into Magic the Gathering, since that's probably why a lot of people are here. When did you like first fall into playing Magic competitively, and like why?
It was actually a Staples tournament at Turn Zero Games in like Koreatown in LA.
Mm.
I was just a broke kid that couldn't afford cards, and a friend of mine had a Death Shadow deck that they had that they weren't playing, and uh, I actually, it's so funny. I got ninth place and won a foiled Zendikar Arid Mesa. It
Holy
was yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was back in like 2016.
damn! So all right, so you just kind of fell into your first tournament. You bubbled out. This is what I'm hearing. Oh, but then you just kind of fell into magic riches. You just got this a foil arid mesa, and all of a sudden you're just like, damn, this game ain't that bad.
Dude, I was like, dude, I can't put this in my in my mono black commander deck.
Oh man, I just absolutely love hearing the pipeline of first competitive tournament, and then the immediate response is commander deck.
Yeah, dude.
The CRC winners, everyone, they're just like us. Oh man, so you said that you went to the event specifically with a friend, or did you just find it when you were like trolling around for magic stuff?
Oh no, I was told by one of the workers, Doug. He was like,
Oh.
"Vinny, come play this Saturday." I was like, "Are we playing Commander? What are we doing, brother?" He's like, "No, no, no. Uh, like he was like, I'll give you a modern deck. Like just play it. Like it don't matter." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So wait, was that your first time actually playing Modern then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, damn. That goes way better than any tournament I've ever played, and I've practiced for them. So that was a hell of a deck to get thrown into. But I do want to just allude to something you kind of brought up there, which is like the Magic community that you kind of were put into and kind of just, I guess, started playing with too. I know that you're down in SoCal. I know you specifically through Collector Legion and the guys down there at that store. So has the community really been an influence on you, like playing more and more competitive Magic?
Oh man, I the friends and I mean even brothers like I've made playing Magic have saved my life. I wouldn't even know where I would be without them.
Damn. So those guys are basically a big motivation for you to continue keep playing.
Oh, dude, yeah, like when I first started being becoming friends with Ivan, like him winning a bunch of SCGs and doing well, I was like, dude, I want to fucking, I want to be as good as this guy, man.
Well, now I guess you can kind of hold something over him now, can't you?
No, I would never. I would never.
Oh man, but you're both going places, right? Like you both
Oh,
did
yeah.
very well this past weekend.
Yeah, we're both going to the PT, which is really cool.
Oh man. All right. So that's actually a pretty good segue. So speaking of, just the event in and of itself and how it wound up going, I know that I've known you for basically playing with the guys down in SoCal, but I do know that for this tournament preparation specifically, you got a chance to work with Team Scrapheap for the event. So talk to me a little bit about the background of that. How'd that wind up happening and what was the testing process like with that team?
Yeah, I basically Eli Loveman was like, "Hey, like, can Vinny join? Like, he's cool. You guys would like." And then Josephus was like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he can join." And I'll be completely honest. I was like really busy with work, and I just didn't get to test a whole lot. So I went with like the most good vibes deck.
So your role on the team was vibes guy?
Yeah, I mean, I was there to help if people needed cards, and then I would try and crack jokes here and there to lighten the mood.
So your specialty on the testing team wasn't like a specific deck or anything. It was basically like, well, I work at a store and I have access to the cards. Also, like, you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, like, that's exactly, yeah.
Who would you say then on the team was like the most influential in your decision to pick a deck?
Oh, it was Joseph and Slacks for sure. I knew that the deck was like really good. I asked Joseph, I was like, "Hey, like, is this deck good or like y'all just saying it is?" And he's like, "Brother, this deck is the piss nuts." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'll follow along." And then eventually when like Slacks got on the deck, I was like, "Okay, I'm like definitely happy with my deck choice."
So I guess that means that it's good. I guess that's what that means.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Did you have like any inkling or like predetermined notion of a deck that you were thinking of even playing for the RC before getting on the team?
Yeah, I really like Gorios. I really, really liked Gorios. I really liked specifically Johnny Gutman's list, Ginky. His list from the top 8 of the PT. But it was a deck I knew I had to get a lot of reps in. Like, it wasn't a deck where like I could just do vibes and like at least be happy that I'm playing it. Like with this deck, with Jeskai, I totally could have just like played the deck and like I would have had fun casting Ragavan and Flage and so I was gonna play whatever the team called the best deck and then see if it passed the vibe check, and it like certainly did.
So as far as it being the best deck that the team decided on, was it because of decks that you were anticipating seeing, or was it specifically how the deck functioned itself?
How the deck functioned into the decks we thought we were gonna see.
Okay, yeah. So what decks did you guys anticipate seeing?
We knew a lot of people were gonna play Amulet and Esper Blink. Wasn't sure of the percentages, to be honest. Um, I thought the Amulet matchup was pretty good, but when you look at the data, like the Amulet matchup was bad. Which like I'm not sure if that was due to like the differences in how we were sideboarding. So the way me and Ivan were sideboarding is we brought in the Charmaws, Subtleties, and the Force Negation. And the rest of the team was bringing in Mystical Dispute instead of the Charmaws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like if you look at my games against Collins, if I had Dispute, it like just wouldn't have. I feel like I probably still would have won game 3, but it would have not been as handily as it was in the last few turns.
Yeah, that Charmaw definitely turned the tides of that game pretty heavily in your favor. And since you've actually brought up some of these card names too, let's just like jump into the meat and potatoes of some of the deck stuff. So I do know that the Jeskai Blink list at the Pro Tour just a couple of weeks before the RC, Matt Costa had a version that wound up taking, I think it was 20th overall. And there were a couple key changes that I noticed between your list and Costa's list specifically, or the list that your team wound up coming up with in Costa's list. The specific things were one less Felia, less bolts, and less ephemerates. You also weren't rocking Spell Snare in the main deck, but you did wind up going up cards like Prismatic Ending, March of Otherworldly Light, a Wrath of the Skies, and you had Teferi in the main deck as well as the Charmaws in the sideboard. But before we get to sideboard cards, I had a lot of questions asked to me about the Teferis in the main deck, and I have been just kind of blankly staring at people. and waiting for this interview to see like what were these changes for, and like what specifically were these cards answers for?
Yeah, I first off, I would definitely like to shout out Matt Costa and Eli Cassis for like making the original build of the deck. Um, yeah, it was we were like a little bit all over the place with the list initially. There was a lot of one ofs, a bunch of two ofs. Um, we were like building the list. We were sitting down on Friday. Uh, yeah, Ivan sat down at the table like across, like one table over, and I was like, "All right, what are we doing?" And he was like, you don't have to follow me into the dark." And I was like, "All right, brother, let's get it. What are we doing?" So the Teferis personally just felt like it's such a busted thing to flicker with Felia. Like I can't even stress that like hard enough. Um, Bouncing your opponent's card, flickering the Teferi, it coming back at 4. It's really hard to kill at 4. Like really, really hard to kill at 4. And then you're able to untap. Like it's just a complete. It's so busted to just draw the extra card a turn, like a guaranteed growth on Felia. I can't even stress how good the Teferi was like all weekend. Um, So yeah, Teferi was like plussing Teferi and then ending on their turn was completely insane. I had a crazy plot against Affinity by plussing Teferi, uh, and then wrathing on their turn for 1 on their end step was just completely game ending. Like we played one more turn and the guy was like, "Yeah, you got it. Like, thank you for the games."
Damn, yeah, that does sound absolutely backbreaking. And you did mention the Prismatic ending as well. I know in your winners interview at the end of the RC, you shouted at that as potentially one of the best cards in your list. So tell me a little bit more about the pendings there.
Yeah, I can't even begin to explain how good that card was. Like honestly, like I don't even know where to start. I feel like every card that we were worried about just dies to pending. We were playing spell snares to like counter the frog in Goryo's, but it's just, oh my goodness. I couldn't even explain how many things I got to kill with pending where like the spell snare would have rotted in my hand if it was the spell, because that's what we cut the spell snares for, was 2 prismatic ending.
So the prismatic endings wind up being just a good answer to pretty much anything that you could wind up throwing at it. And I guess the fact that it also just doesn't necessarily have to hit creatures is a very powerful thing too, as to why you might have gone up in prismatic endings over lightning bolts or something. If you anticipated a lot of Titan, right?
Yeah, against Zoo, I just ending for 4 on their on their ley line.
Oh.
Like it was freaking, dude, it was good.
It's like, all right, well, you took the wind out of their sails and now they're just playing like grizzly bears and stuff. So
yeah, he like his Scion like lost all of its tags. Like it was so good.
I guess that doesn't really hold up then. Like, I guess, yeah, if you're just like playing, Solitudes, Ragavans, and Felias, and they're just getting huge, and this Scion just sitting there with negative keywords on it.
It was definitely like, if it was a spell snare, like I would have definitely lost that game.
Damn, man, that's kind of funny actually. And then the March of Otherworldly Light, was it like very similar thought process to the prismatic ending?
We just wanted something to like make us a little bit better against Titan, Brute Scale, and Affinity. Yeah, against Affinity, like Saga Chapter on the stack, exiling it was like really, really good. He just like passed the turn for like 3 turns in a row, like no land drop, saying go. It's like holy crap, dude. It was like, I was like, oh my, all right, this won me this match. And then against Amulet, I think it was game 1 in the Swiss. They played Saga on 2, and I was able to like exile it with a trigger on the stack and like completely disrupt their game plan. They just were not able to play the game.
All right, so just doing backbreaking work, whether it's sorcery speed, instant speed, or Teferi speed, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to move on a little bit then to something you mentioned before, which was the Charmaws that you wind up having in your sideboard. Again, looking at the list that Matt Costa played, I got some insider info because I shell my money out to Jerry T in his podcast. So I got a chance to see what Matt's thought process was in that Discord a little bit too. A lot of people at the beginning of the RC when they saw deck lists. We're talking about the sideboard. Just for viewers at home, Vinny, your sideboard wound up having 4 Charmaws, 3 Disputes, 2 Subtleties, 2 Rats, a Surgical, a Celestial Purge, a Force of Negation, and a Ghost Vacuum we'll get back to in a second too. But Costa was running 4 White Orchid Phantoms in his sideboard and mentioned that the Charmaws were probably an adaptation into a more open field versus like the more well-known quantity of the Pro Tour. Do you feel like the Charmaws were just an overall better card into more matchups, or was that a specific thing that made you pick Charmaw over the Phantoms?
Yeah, so for the Charmaws, it just felt like to me like I really don't like White Orchid Phantom. I just felt like every time I cast it, it just did nothing. Like all of my opponents had basics. To be fair, like it would have been really good against Belcher, but other than that, like every matchup that you wanted in, it's just worse. Like all the matchups you want Phantom, you can Charm and have a clock. Like Amulet, they play a bunch of basics, so like the White Orchid isn't really good there, and then play enough colorless sources where you're able to maybe cast it on 3. I mean, I cast it on 4. I think it's still fine as a 4 mana 4/4 blow up a land, and if you have a flicker effect, it's just fantastic. And then versus like Red Green Eldrazi and Brood and then against Tron as well. Like Tron ended up not really being something I played against, but I did play a bunch against Brood and my whole game plan was like try to not get comboed game 1, post board either subtlety their things or like use Wrath of the Skies to blow up their board to like stop them from comboing me, and survive until I can just Charmaw and Ephemerate Charmaw until they don't get to play the game.
Damn. So literally going back to those commander roots and, Armageddoning them to death.
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
Oh man, awesome. All right, so Charmaw, if you are going into an open field tournament, you expect a lot more brood scale and stuff like that. Maybe think about just beating them down with a big old dragon. All right, I want to go back to that one Ghost Vacuum. I mean, like my gut instinct was why so many lists had 2 surgical extractions. I see this one Ghost Vacuum and kind of start to justify it in my head, but I'm not nearly as good as you are, so. Explain this one to me.
Yeah, so initially Joseph was like, "Yo, we should try Ghost Vacuum and just see how it goes." I think it's better against Boros. It's probably not better against the other matchups, but he was assuming that there was going to be enough Boros where it was going to be good, and we started testing with 2, and it was really really good. And I ended up saying like, "Why don't we just play 1-1? Like I'm playing 1-1. Like you guys can do whatever you want." I wanted it for Boros. That's really it, and I didn't want to bring in 2 surgical versus them. Like in the matchup, like in our guide. Initially, I was bringing in just 1 surgical and leaving 1 on the board, and I was like, I really want to have like enough hate for Flage because those are the matches you lose. As like, well, as people seen if they watch the coverage, like it's Blood Moon, and then Flage are the two ways you lose that matchup. In the Swiss, I played against a bunch of energy players with no Blood Moon, and those matchups were so much easier than playing against Blood Moon. It's crazy to say how much easier my thoughts were, at least, or my brain was like, hey, stay calm, it's gonna be fine. They don't have Blood Moon, you don't have to play around it. Keep calm. But yeah, Ghost Vacuum was just for the Boros matchup for the most part.
Let's go down that quick thought process of the Blood Moon then. So obviously Blood Moon was going to be a more popular card if people were anticipating a lot of like the Titan and Tron decks anyway. So I know that you talked about in your finals matchup, game number 2 is basically won or lost around the turn 2 Blood Moon. Is Blood Moon in general that powerful, or is like specifically the Ragavan Blood Moon sequence something that your deck specifically struggled with?
Yeah, Monkey into Blood Moon was tough. If I had a Plains, if I had Arid Mesa instead of Tarn, I'm pretty sure I win that game. Because I had Felia, and I just play the Felia, and I blink out the Blood Moon, and then I cast my spells, and then the next turn I blink out the Blood Moon again, and I cast my spells, and like it wouldn't have mattered like at all. But due to it being like if it just like was Arid Mesa or Fluttershy, I'm like totally winning that game.
Let's kind of talk a little bit more about the main decks a bit. So kind of on the back of that Blood Moon discussion, then we saw that the list in general was usually running 2 Fable the Mirror Breaker. You had 2 in your main deck as well. That card pairs very well with a lot of different cards. Was that also a factor in coming back from some of these games where you may have gotten Blood Mooned or you may have been a little bit choked on a specific color of mana? Was that ever that much of a player?
Oh my goodness, yes. Like Fable was like one of the best cards in the deck for the weekend for sure. Like
Sounds like this deck had a lot of best cards. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, well, honestly, Lightning Bolt was like not insane, but I felt like it was just kind of the concession where like you had to play an instant speed removal spell, and you couldn't play another March.
Hmm.
And then same thing with Wrath of the Skies in the main. The Wrath of the Skies in the main wasn't like absolutely fantastic, but it was fine enough when it was fine enough. But going back to Fable,
Hmm.
it was so good. Just like filtering you. There was one turn in top 8 where I drew 2 with Riddler, and then I drew 2 more off of Fable. Like I had empty-handed, draw 2 off Riddler, discard 1, draw 2, so I drew 4 cards on my turn, which was just like I felt like I was on top of the freaking world, man. I can't even I can't even begin to explain.
So did you have like a counter of how many times you actually got to copy your Riddlers throughout the tournament? Because
It's
that
so
was a
funny.
huge factor.
It was literally just against John.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty hilarious to go into the finals and just be like, oh yeah, this interaction that my deck has, haven't tried it before. No, that seems pretty good. Oh hey, got me a trophy.
It's really good.
But you did wind up having the Riddler looting effect with Fable the Mirror Breaker come up a few times, or
Oh
specifically
yeah,
in the finals.
all the
Yeah,
time,
but
all the time throughout the tournament. Yeah, yeah.
that just feels like cheating. Like it feels like you literally have Pot of Greed in your Magic the Gathering deck.
Dude, no, dude, for real. Holy crap! Yeah, I didn't even think of calling it Pot of Greed.
Yeah, man, you draw 2 additional cards.
Yeah, it was so good. I can't even. Riddler is so busted, dude. Holy crap.
So is that one of the best cards in the deck?
Uh, probably.
So I know you alluded a little bit to the differences between you and Ivan and the small tweaks that you made on the deck as compared to some of the versions that the rest of your team was running. We heard the story about how that kind of happened. Would you say that those changes were the big difference between your performance and some of the other Jeskai Blink list performances?
Yeah, dude, I think Spellster sucks.
Heard it here
Like,
first. Spellsare Snux.
yeah, I just feel like everything that it could counter, like you could just answer with ending or answer something else with said ending, you know?
All right, so no spell snares then. That was like the biggest change. Then is definitely the prismatic endings for the spell snares. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So that was the thing basically is removal on the board over removal on the stack.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it, absolutely.
Awesome. So what do you think about the deck going forward? Now I know that we touched upon this a little bit before, but I have it written down, so I'm going to be a robot and read the question.
No, you're good.
You mentioned that Espergorios was a tougher matchup in the winners interview you did with Nick Miller, and then the statistics from the rest of the event showed that Amulet Titan was actually one of the more unfavored, actually I think the only unfavored matchup out of like the top decks that were in the room. Are there other decks that would give you pause into just immediately sleeving this deck up again in Vegas in a couple of weeks?
I think I might be sleeving this up again.
Ooh, you teased.
might
You said
be-
you weren't.
I know. I might be. It's crazy, but I might also be doing no changes. I feel like the list is really good with like the current modern metagame of like Amulet being the best deck. But I feel like with the way that me and Ivan were sideboarding, I think the matchup's like fine post board. Like game one, you've seen it's not very good, but I think post board, like the matchup is pretty darn good. So if I had to play again tomorrow, I would do no changes and I would slam this list back.
All right. So hopeful pilots in Vegas. You heard it here. No changes. Buy the guide. That's it, right?
Yeah, I know there's a RC going on this weekend. I'm gonna apologize to everybody. I'm not sure where it's at.
I should know, and I don't even know. So
Yeah, but yeah, I had I had like well, his name on online is like Ethan MTG.
Hmm.
But he was asking me about, changes I would make, and I was like, brother, if I'm you, I'm slapping this deck right back. I was like, just same 75, man. Like roll it. Like any questions you have, just message me. Don't even think twice.
I'm actually looking at the event calendar right now. It looks like it's like Australia, New Zealand winds up having an
Oh,
event that's
yeah,
going this
there you
weekend. So
go. Yeah,
there you go.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so in case you wanted to watch even more Magic coverage besides Spotlight Spider-Man, which I hear you're going to, and we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but
Okay.
more Magic coverage coming your way this weekend too. So stepping back from the deck, let's talk about Vinny's tournament as a whole. You're playing through double-digit rounds of this event. You're going into day 2, X and 1. You wind up in first place. You're able to draw yourself in. Was there ever a specific moment at this event where you just kind of thought to yourself, "Ah, crap, I might win this thing"?
I Yeah, when I was after I was 11 and 1, I just like felt it in my bones, man. Like I locked in a PT slot. Um, I was talking with a friend. He's like, dude, like 11 3 and 1, like because there was like 3 rounds left. He's like 11 3
Mm-hmm.
and 1, is like locked for the PT. Like you just need to win one more. You could double draw. Um, and man, I just knew in my bones, Tom. I just felt it, you know. It's just like one of those things where you just kind of like you hope that it's true because you're telling yourself that it's gonna happen, you know.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I mean, I wish I just had that confidence. I mean, a lot of Magic players also probably feel this way. Is like when they're in a position like that, those like doubts start creeping in, and they're kind of like, "Oh man, like I'll draw in, but like I don't know if I'm gonna do it." But your gut feeling was, "I'm already up here. I feel like I can do it."
Dude, yeah, I'll be, dude. I'll touch on that for a second. It's just like, I I think this is the greatest board game of all time. And like, what are we doing if we're not having fun? I was just having fun the entire weekend.
I love that.
Like, there was like not a whole lot of stress other than probably in the semis. I was a little stressed out game one. But I told Collins, I'm like, hey, like when I get anxious, I talk a lot. So like, if I start talking too much, like please let me know, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. And he was like, Vinny, you're all good. Like, please don't worry about it. We're gonna game. It's all good. Um, so yeah, like that's kind of like my coping mechanism is I'll just chat at you for maybe too long. But I yeah, I think that if people are playing this game and they're not having fun, that they should consider taking a break. I uh I just Magic is the most fun I've ever had playing any game ever, and I wish that people would try to do the same.
Damn. So win or lose, you would have been still enjoying the game just the same amount.
With this deck, yeah, this deck was super fun to play.
I guess that's why it's vibes deck, right?
Yeah, it was super duper fun.
Oh man! All right, so you were feeling good the entire weekend. Then, tell me, not only how did it feel to realize that you had made the finals, but realize that someone else on the opposite side of the table that you were practicing with and that you knew was playing against you, and that you had both made it to the finals.
Oh, dude, so John finished earlier than I did. And they like cut the footage, but I kind of like pushed them and was like, "Let's go!" And then I went right back to my match, and then after I won, I got up and I hugged some friends, and then I hugged John, and man, I started crying on him.
Aw. So you got him wet before you started playing.
Oh,
You're just like, oh man, like sorry about that.
yeah,
I'm
his
on the play, by the way.
shoulders were covered in tears.
Oh man. So besides getting to the finals, playing against a buddy, actually winning the event, being the general goat of the RC this weekend, are there any moments that stuck out to you at this event, whether it was gameplay or just being there?
Yeah, the round I locked in like my PT was that will stick with me forever. I'll never forget that game. Um, it was, invite to my first PT and the start of my journey into professional Magic and to see what it's like to, you know, be on the other side of the coverage that I've been watching for as long as I can remember and wishing that I could be there and hopefully one day I will. And it's yeah, it's a dream come true, man.
I'm just so happy for you, man. That's not a question. That's just a statement. Like
Ah,
it was the feeling that you were describing about playing the game and the fact that you just loved playing the game and having fun so much. I don't know if it was like infectious or how it came across on the broadcast, but I mean, first off, Corey couldn't stop singing your praises, and I think
I
it's the
know.
the
Oh
most.
man.
I think it's the most like he has laughed, and he already laughs a lot. But it was also very interesting to hear like somebody who usually takes the game more seriously, like a Jim Davis, also getting wrapped up in like the emotion of the actual finals.
Oh yeah, dude. I messaged Corey like when I was writing the article. I wrote a breakdown of like my quarters, semis, and finals, and like dude, it was so crazy, Tom. Every single time, like I paused the video and like wrote down my thought process on the turn, and then I hit play, and then Corey would just talk about exactly my thought process. I was like, holy, I was like, whoa, oh my God. So I messaged him to let him know, and I told him I was like, hey man, I just want to say like thank you so much for the kind words. Like you have no idea how much it means to me, like genuinely.
That's Man, that's one of those things that makes these events so like the way that paper magic has come back into existence and just the competitive side of it. Everybody always kind of thinks of like GP grinders and everything, but hearing how your experience specifically, whether it be on the actual gameplay on camera or the interactions that you had with the people surrounding the event, it just reminds me that like at the end of the day, this is just like a big old convention. And people, like you said, people should be having fun with it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to be very weird if the next event happens and you're not at the top again, because the mood is going to feel way different without you
No,
there.
no, thank you. No.
Yeah, you just came across as a personality that I think a lot of people resonated with. So, I mean, it could like I think the broadcast is even saying too, like it couldn't have happened to a better guy. Like what very well
Oh,
deserved. So
thank you.
I'm glad that this is going to be something that goes down in your memories for a long time. But I do have to say, you have a lot of magic in your career you've yet to play, including the fact that you're just going to pack up and ship off to go play another tournament like what, like 24 hours from this podcast? Like,
Not even. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
getting breakfast with our friend Wappa, and me and him are going to the airport.
So we'll shift gears away from modern for a little bit. So if anybody is interested in the modern portion of things, we might touch upon a couple of things in the rest of the interview. But Vinny's Metafy guide is down below. It's the first thing in the description. If you didn't hear at the beginning of the video, you're hearing right now. You could go down there, check out the guide, and figure out what you want to be doing for modern. But I'm going to shift gears for a little bit and talk about Spotlight Spider-Man in Baltimore. I know what our friend is playing. What are you playing in Standard? Because you've been all over the place at the RCQs.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play Vivi mirrors, man. It is what it is.
Are you
I
on the vanilla Vivi like Wappa told me?
Me and Wap are playing the exact same 75.
Okay, so I know what that list is.
Making it easy.
This might come out Saturday morning, so I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but honk shoe, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if when Vivi gets banned, I'm gonna play that Superior Spider-Man Living End deck, dude. That
Can I?
deck is probably one of the best vibes deck I've ever played.
So in general, weren't you a Living End fan previously?
Oh yeah, I was a Living End one trick for a very long time.
So is this like hitting a sweet spot for you where
Oh,
it's just like
Tom, freaking absolutely, dude.
gush to me about this a little bit because I
Oh,
lost to it twice playing at RCQs this past weekend.
okay.
So I have
I
a
so
different
there
perspective on the deck.
there are a few different versions of the build. I think so there's like the Jun slash Blue, which I
Okay.
haven't tried, but it looks like it's also good vibes because FOMO's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the like three Arden version, like the almost mono black splashing green and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, Arden is so fun to cast. I can't even begin to explain. Like, that guy is so baller. Just everything that guy does is just like I read it, I'm like, oh, dude, that's so cool. And then I read more, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. It's like, dude, he's such a just like my mono black deck was Chainer when I played Commander.
Oh man.
So like reanimating things from other people's graveyards is just that's just it hits home in every way.
See, we're two sides of the same coin. You're on the chainer side of things. I was on the braid side of things.
Oh,
So
we're not on the same. Don't say that about
I'm
me.
filling the graveyard for you because we're in the same pod. So
No, don't say that. We're not in the same coin here, all right?
so you're also running like the 3 Arden. Do you have the bringer of the last gift and the Valgabots in
Oh,
there too?
sorry. Yeah, I should touch more on the. Yeah. It was I didn't play the Valgavoth
Mm.
in the RCQ. I conceded the finals to a friend too. I feel like I want to like play cooler cards.
You're telling me that
Yeah.
you have the chance to play a giant 9/9 flying Valgavosi and that's not cool enough for you?
Brother, you cost too much mana.
Yeah, that's why you reanimated.
Brother, I can't tell you how many times I just cast Arden. I've won so many games by just hard casting the bringer, dude.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I lost to a turn 8 hardcast Arden, so
Dude, it's
Turns out
such a banger,
turns out
dude.
when Demir goes to turn 9 against that deck, I can't do much against it.
Dude, yeah, it is what it is, man. I in the Swiss when I played it, I like I needed a land drop really bad off the top to like do it, and he left up 2 mana, and I'm like, okay, like if I draw Cavern, like I'm just gonna slam. I drew Cavern, I just windmill slam named Human, and he was like, yeah, I guess so. It like killed the bat in play, and I was able to reanimate his bat with Arden, and I looked at his hand, and he had 2 of the 2 mana counter spells.
Oh.
I was like, dude, let's go.
So Sultai Spider-Man deck is Vibes deck. Vivi is the tryhard deck for this weekend.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny if I win back to back, so I'm gonna try hard.
Just be like, hey guys, I'm here again. The broadcast gets to be
Yeah,
funny again. This is great.
yeah. I just think it'd be maximum funny.
Do you have higher expectations for this event because you won the last event? Or are you just still going just for the love of the game?
Nah, dude, I'm gonna go have fun.
Yeah. All right. So if I look at the event coverage this weekend and I'm looking at it and it's an 0-4 drop or something, I know you're just having fun the whole time.
I still had fun, yes, sir. Yeah,
Awesome.
I was actually playing the VV Cauldron deck before the like mono red bans,
Yeah.
and the the gutter ban. I I as soon as PVDDR played the deck at the PT, he was on feature match for his match. And brother, while I was watching it, I bought the cards. I was
Damn.
like, this looks so freaking fun, dude. I was like, this is the most fun I think I'll ever have playing standard. Instantly bought all of the cards, and I won a bunch of the City of Brasses from it too.
So you just stockpile that and that's how you're getting to Baltimore.
Yeah, well, they definitely paid for a bunch of trips, so I won't even. My VVs and Cauldrons were infinitely paid for.
So Baltimore's coming up this weekend. You're playing VV. Best deck in the format? I don't think that's a question at this point, right?
No, probably not. I mean, you could like some would argue that red is better, but it is what it is.
Okay, so you got Spotlight Spider-Man coming up. You're qualified for basically the next RCPT Worlds. What else is on your docket after Spotlight Spider-Man? Where are we finding Vinny at?
I'm going to the NRG in Chicago area. I'm teaming with Benji Solomon and the absolute modern goat House of Mana.
Oh, dang. All right.
Yeah,
Some good old
I'm like
trios format.
I'm super stoked to get carried by Benji in house.
That's a little stranger to say now after Houston.
Oh, brother, it is what it is. House is the Titan goat, man.
Uh,
If House was in Houston, it would have been him in top eight, and I would have lost.
oh,
No
damn.
shade to
All right.
Collins, but House is my goat.
You got it. All right. So there you go. Shout out to House. So you got NRG. Are you still going to the other RC or are you just passing since you've already won?
My mom and dad live in Vegas, so I
Oh,
was
sick.
gonna go no matter what.
Awesome. All right. So you got plans if you are going to any of these bigger events, you potentially could run into Vinny. Very hard to miss him. I'm sure you'll hear him before you see him, but just like that. But just in case you wanted to get to know our RC champion and our future Pro Tour and Worlds competitor a little bit better, Vinny, I have what I'm going to call a rapid fire round of questions for you. So,
All right.
So if you're ready to play, if you don't know the game, it's because I just made it up and I copied it from every other rapid fire round game. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a question, 1 word, 1 sentence answer. If there's anything super juicy or controversial, I'm gonna have you explain that a little bit more. But otherwise, we're just gonna burn through these as quick as possible before we wind up getting into some congratulations and shout outs from you. All right, let's get going. Starting off, I think I might know the answer to this one now. Favorite single color of mana to play?
It's mono black, dude.
Ah, my man. What about favorite guild or shard to play?
So my favorite is, it's gonna sound a little crazy. It's Simic, and it's not relatively close if I have to pair 2 colors.
Damn. I would not have expected that. Actually, no, I can see that. All right. What is the first set that you bought or won a booster pack from?
It's Shadows over Innistrad was my very first.
Do you remember what you pulled?
Yes, I bought it's so funny. I bought like one of them like welcome deck things that they had back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
And I pulled the Jace from
the Unraveler of Mysteries?
Yeah. Or was that Eldritch Moon?
Oh, that might have been Eldritch Moon, yeah.
Whatever set the Jace is from. And I was like, dude, that's so cool. And then in the next freaking pack, it was Eldritch Moon. The next pack, I opened up a Liliana Last Hope.
Ooh.
And I was like, dude, this is so cool. I was like, are these good? And the worker and Doug was like, yeah, Vinny, those are good.
It's like legacy players for the next 2 years. Yeah, that Liliana's good. What is your GOAT limited format?
Duskborn.
Ooh, recent one. Okay. I dig that. What about just favorite Magic set of all time?
I really like Rise of the Eldrazi. I think Eldrazi's are really cool. And then I guess I would also say New Phyrexia also. I think Phyrexians are freaking sick.
All right, so you're the villain after all this time.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Magic format of all time?
The Grixis Shadow Humans Etron Modern was just a delight.
Damn, sorry, I just went through a wave of nostalgia there. The Shadow decks back then. All right. So would that be the favorite deck that you've played of all time too?
No, it's Nexus of Fate and Standard.
You're an asshole.
Dude, who would have guessed I was the villain the whole time?
I was like, yeah, the Simic pairing, you probably played some sort of Wilderness Rec deck back in the day, and there it is. Like,
there it is.
All right. Gun to your head, Living End or Crashing Footfalls?
Living End, man. Why'd I even think so long?
I was like, damn, did he disconnect or something? I thought that was going to be instant. All right. Did Grief die for Fury's sins, or did Fury die for Grief's sins?
Free Grief, bro.
I love that. All right, I'm in.
Free Grief.
That gets me into Modern. So, is Modern at this moment, A, the best it's ever been, B, the worst it's ever been, or C, one of the formats of all time?
I think I'm just not gonna do any of your choices.
Oh, there's none of them.
I think it's the best it's been in a very long time, but
okay.
I don't know if it's perfect. Like I would say, like I think Amulet might be too good. But if Amulet was like slightly worse, I think this would probably be like Modern Heaven.
Got it. All right. Korean or Brazilian barbecue?
It's Korean barbecue. That one's not even close. Anyone who says Brazilian barbecue is an absolute fraud.
I have to ask that one because like Brazilian barbecue seems to be the default for Magic players, and I just don't know why.
It's good, but brother, Korean barbecue is goated.
All right, let's go back to Magic question. What type of card would you want as a World Championship card?
It's so funny. I was at work, Carlo asked me this,
Oh,
and
did he? He's doing my
I think
job.
I think I have like what I think would be the coolest card for someone like me who is able to enjoy the game casually while also being competitive. I'm gonna ask for a Jeskai legendary creature that
Hmm.
summons a 2/1 dog named Molly that draws a card for each opponent you attack and is given to an opponent.
That sounds. So you're just passing your dog around drawing cards.
Molly was Molly was my corgi when I still had her, and she was just the greatest of all time. She was so loving to everybody. She just like brightened my day every time I seen her, and I just miss her so much. And playing Felia was really cute because she looks a lot like Molly because she was a corgi.
Aw.
Um, so yeah, I think the 2/1 dog named Molly would be really awesome, and to show how much she loved everybody and was like so outgoing and just wanted to say hello to people. I think passing her around would be really cool.
Yeah, she just wants pets, man. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
yes, sir.
All right. How about could your favorite Magic the Gathering card, and this is a question I know because we play this game together, could your favorite Magic the Gathering card beat up your favorite League of Legends champion?
So I was trying to think. I, I've had a hard time deciding what my favorite like creature was.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'd be crazy to say like Nexus of Fate could beat up Kaisa, you know? I just feel like that would make no sense. So my favorite creature is probably Death Shadow, and I don't think Kaisa stands a chance.
You don't think Kaisa stands a chance against Death Shadow?
No, sir. Death is in the name, brother.
I mean, she literally fought against like the League of Legends Phyrexian, so.
Yeah, but Death Shadow isn't a Phyrexian, bro.
No, okay. It is death. Death in and of itself. All right. Uh, let's go with this question that actually my wife Kelsey came up with. As people probably noticed on coverage, you got a lot of tattoos, man. Do you have a favorite and a least favorite tattoo?
Um, my favorite is the spider on my left hand for sure. But I don't really have a least favorite tattoo. Like all of the tattoos I have either have like meaning behind them or they just look sweet in the time, and I think I still like the way they look personally. So I would go with I have no least favorite.
So, what is your most recent tattoo?
My most recent is I got some on my left hand above the cat with the number 14 underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
I got some eyes being like interwebbed into the open space. And eventually when that's done, it's gonna be like a creepy little girl with eyes for hair that encapsulates my whole arm.
Oh, damn. So is
It'll
that
be
gonna?
cool.
So you're gonna literally sit down across from your opponent, put your vibes deck shuffled down on the table, ask them to cut, tell them a joke, and as you reach across, this little girl is going to just creepily stare at them as you cut your deck.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm I'm also gonna get like the original art for Ragavan, but
Oh,
him holding the trophy on my right arm.
that's awesome. All right, that's
Yeah.
pretty sick. All right,
Yeah, that was gonna
so
be good.
the other city of brasses will fund that one,
Oh yes, sir.
or the
I still
RC
have two.
winnings maybe.
I still have two. So
All right. So I know you're playing one of these events very soon. This is gonna be the last of the quote unquote rapid fire questions that haven't been as rapid as I thought they would be, but it's good banter. So, what is your dream trios team for a hypothetical event? And you get to pick the formats that these people play.
it would be Unified Modern, which I think is the coolest format of all time.
Hell yeah, I miss
I would
unified tournaments.
have Carl Sarap, also known as Terabad,
Mm.
and I would have Andrea Mengucci as my teammates.
Do you? All right, let's say it's this modern format. What three decks are you like? I guess it's hard off the spot because it's unified. But like, if you could think of like who would be vibing on what deck.
I know that Carl really likes the Brute Scale deck, and I feel like not a lot of the cards are like overlapping with my deck.
All right.
And then honestly, Andrea plays a lot of everything, so I think he'll figure it out and probably be fine.
I think he's gonna wind up fighting you for the lands to try to force some sort of Murktide deck, though.
Yeah, who knows? Honestly, who knows?
All right. So That's the rapid fire round. Before we wind up going, it's been a pleasure just being a chance to yap with you as always, Vinny. But now you're a world's qualified RC champion, so I feel like this is the chance that you have. The floor is yours. Is there anyone, anything, any place, any whatever that you want to give shout outs to?
Yeah, first I would like to thank Joseph and Team Scrapheap for having me. I can't even just thank y'all so much. I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere near as far without y'all, and I just again want to say thank you so much. I'd like to thank Collector Legion for always making sure I have time off when I need it and treating me like absolute family. I thank you so much. If you find yourself out in LA, please come on down. It'd be a pleasure to meet some new faces. Uh, it'd be awesome to meet y'all.
I do feel kind of bad that I rep the Collector Legion sleeves to every RCQ that I lose.
It's perfect. You're a sweetheart, bro. It's good.
I bring to all my local stores, and they're just like, "Oh, where's that store at?" I'm like 6 hours away. All right, Vinny, where can players find you? And shout out that guide that you posted a little bit earlier today as well. Where can they find that at?
Yeah, it's on my Twitter, or I guess X. Vinnie Vino, BINNY BINO. Yeah, if you're interested in learning and want to get better at the 75, like please check it out.
Yep, and of course, all those links to Vinny's social media, of course, the Metafy list and everything are going to be down below in the description of this video. So if you're watching on audio only mode, head on down to the description. All that will be right at the top of the video, so you can know where to find Vinny, where to find the deck guide and everything else. Vinny, it's been a pleasure. Any final words before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone. I'm so incredibly thankful for all the kind words and all the nice things said, and I look forward to making you all proud of the PT and at Worlds next year.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats again on winning. Can't wait to see Ragavan holding that trophy on your body. And also, I mean, best of luck this weekend. I hope you get a good night's sleep. At least you get a healthy travel day. And, I can't wait to see you on camera again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And everybody who's been listening, thank you for tuning in. If you liked this type of content and come into a Tom Talk, let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure that Vinny's going to be trolling down there as well. So if you have any questions for him, you hit him up on social media, hit him up in the comments below. Just, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, and you'll be able to get more access to all sorts of Magic the Gathering content from me right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks again to Vinny. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you at the next Tom Talk.